But that's all you could see, correct? You couldn't see sled agents working around down there by the dog kennels.
No, sir. There's planted pines between the residence and the kennels.
So the fact of the matter is, you can't see people at the dog kennels from the house based on your personal observations. Is that correct?
From where I was standing, no, sir.
Now, you also testified about the location of Maggie's phone, how it was found.
Yes, sir.
Did you go out there when it was located?
Yes, sir, I did.
You recall how it was located?
Yes, sir, I do.
How was it located?
We sent information to the phone company for a ping. The ping was actually 20-something hundred meters, which is a long ways. We then learned that she had Find My iPhone on her phone. One of the family members assisted with locating that phone, getting a better location on the phone, and we were ultimately able to find it.
So you found the phone, Maggie's phone, by family member using Find My iPhone.
And I think it was John Marvin is the one that assisted us with that.
And do you think John Marvin was using Buster's phone to do that?
I don't have a clue what he was using.
And then when the phone was collected, you were provided the password. You remember you testified the password was provided.
We were provided the PIN to open the phone. Yes, sir.
Now, are you aware that Alec Murdoch provided the PIN to SLED so they could open Maggie's phone?
Again, I don't know where the passcode or PIN came from, but we were provided a PIN.
Do you know what a Faraday bag is?
Yes, sir, I do.
Did anyone have a Faraday bag?
I did not have a Faraday bag that day.
What's the purpose of a Faraday bag?
To prevent any tampering from outside sources once a cell phone is collected.
And you can put the cell phone inside a Faraday bag so it can't hit Wi-Fi, cell phone towers.
Again, it prevents any tampering from outside to prevent anybody from being able to communicate with the phone.
It
from
helps.
Any outside sources.
It's a tool to secure the evidence to prevent tampering.
It is
inadvertent or intentional tampering, right?
Yes, sir. It is one tool that can be used.
And was Maggie's phone put in a Faraday bag when it was seized on the side of Moselle Road?
No, it was not.
Did anyone ask or bring up the fact that, hey, maybe we should get a Faraday bag before we move this phone?
I did not ask.
Anybody ask in your presence?
Not that I'm aware of.
Now, on June 8th, you were briefed and you were advised that Alec found his wife and son murdered. He was the one that discovered them, correct?
Yes, sir.
And on June 8th, you knew that he was Maggie's husband, Paul's father, immediate family, correct?
Yes, sir.
And as part of your long-time experience investigating crimes, murders in particular, someone who finds the body and is related to the victims is always going to be looked at. Is that fair?
That would be a fair statement, sir.
And y'all were looking at Alex on the 8th. SLED was, correct?
Yes, sir.
And would you have a label? Was he person of interest or suspect on the 8th?
We were looking at Alec being the one that found the deceased, being the husband, the father, in an attempt to get Mr. Alec out of that immediate circle.
And you've described this investigative circle. So you draw a circle around potential persons of interest, and Alex was in that circle, correct?
We don't draw a circle around any individual person. We work with the crime scene, which is what we consider the circle, and we work from our way inside out in order to find any potential suspect, identify suspects, clear individuals. So we start with the small circle.
So when you started with the small circle, although you don't draw it, I mean, it's a sort of investigative mental tool. Who was the person in the small circle?
We had Miss Maggie was in the crime scene, Paul was in the crime scene, and Alec was in the crime scene.
And you remember that on the morning of the 8th, there were media reports that Alec wasn't of interest in the murder of his wife and son. Do you remember that being public knowledge?
I try to avoid the media in any investigation because I don't want to be influenced by anything that's said.
And the, what do you recall SLED putting out a press release on the morning of the 8th? That the public need not be alarmed.
I do not recall any press release being put out by SLED.
Never. Well, the point being, on the 8th, there was a circle only around Alec. He was the only living and breathing person in the circle. Is that correct?
That is the only person that we could place in the circle at that time.
And on the 8th, SLED knew that, from what interviews with Alec, that he said he left Moselle shortly after 9 p.m., went to visit his mother in Alameda, stayed for a while, and came back. SLED, and you were aware of that fact?
I am aware of that, yes, sir.
Did anybody at SLED ever, on the morning of the 8th, hightail it over to Alameda and search the house for any evidence whatsoever?
I did not go to Alameda and search the house on the 8th.
Are you aware of anyone ever going to Alameda to search the house until sometime in September of 2021?
There was a number of agents out working. I'm not sure what the other agents did. Wouldn't it have been a good idea to go to Alameda on the morning of the 8th, where the guy in the circle says he was, right? I did not go, and I can't testify to what other agents did.
Well, you've been working this investigation. You the lead case agent?
No, sir, I'm not.
Who's the lead case agent?
David Owen.
Right. Now, every interview that Alec Murdaugh gave, you participated in, right?
I did, sir.
So were you, sort of Agent Owen's right-hand man in this investigation?
I was assigned by the captain to assist Agent Owens.
Nope. So it's fair that you knew daily developments as the investigation progressed, right?
We had briefings with each other on the case. Yes, sir.
And you knew that at no point in time, in July, August, anyone went over to Alameda, searched the house, searched the property for any dirty clothes or any murder weapons. I
know that I did not go, and I'm not sure what the other agents in the investigative circle had done.
Well, if you went over there, if you had gone over there on the morning of the 8th, scoured the place and not find anything, that would sort of help nudge Alec outside this investigative circle, would it not?
I can't testify to what ifs, sir. I did not go.
Okay. On the 8th, you were asked to point out who's that person, who's that person.